Welcome, Dune enjoyers, to the absolute melee demon build. Flying over the screen, one-hitting everything. Heavy enemies with a shield, no problem. Stagger them, boom, deleted. Normal shielded sword enemies, deleted. Teleport behind that dude who's trying to drill shot through your shield, not happening. Which skills do you need? Where are the trainers located? And how did I get this amazing unique sword that does more damage than anything? Apart from the actual plastanium sword later, which I should be able to craft after 60 hours with the game. Let me first show you the actual playstyle. We're trying to off-balance our enemy with knee charge, weirding stab from the Bene, and also the Shigawire claw from the trooper. There's a heavy enemy, we can Shigawire claw him, and then heavy attack, boom. Heavy attack, we win. There is a sword dude, teleport behind him, heavy attack, destruction. Couldn't be easier. That was now the weirding stab for the behind teleport and the Shigawire claw for the off balance. Then you also have the knee charge for any kind of opponent. You can stagger with this again, might it be a shielded opponent or an unshielded one, and you can use it as a gap closer, even though the wording stab is actually the better gap closer there. Dude is on top of the stairs, weirding stab behind, he gets staggered, finish him. Finish him. Dash out before you get hit. Shigawire claw him in because before he actually does a drill shot on you, and then 1-2 melee down. Another drill shot opponent, off balance, 1-2. We're turning around, there's a dude with a shield, knee charge, off balance, finish him. Dash in, 1-2 destroyed. Then weirding step behind, he gets staggered, 1-2. You get the drift. It is amazing. We're just an absolute destruction menace. This is how we're flying through any battle. Might it be deep desert? Early game, mid game, whatever, I've been playing this from the very beginning to the very end. Shooting weapons suck, apart from snipers, because you can shoot them before they activate shields. I like to start the game off by making myself a Bene, because in the first 30 minutes, you already reach the Griffin's Reach outpost in the Hagabazan south. No matter where you actually spawn here on the lower edge, you can just walk to the Griffin's Reach trade post, and then as you approach this dude, with his crystal on the top, crystal always means trainer, he's the trooper trainer. Gives you a quest and boom, you get right away the trooper unlocked and can put the first point into the Shigawire claw. And that's pretty much what we're going, that's it. We're not doing anything more for trooper. We're not even making this level 2 or level 3 because the further levels only increase the range the Shigawire claw has. And that's not really necessary right now. I mean, I'm level 110 and I don't have these points to spare to level up the claw. The next trainer will be the Swordmaster basic one. These are the basic trainers. I'll show you the advanced trainers and where we put every single point. We're here in the top of the game. That's Western Vermilion's Gap, so zone number 2. And if you go further up, you'll reach the Pinnacle Station. There would be the basic Swordmaster trainer, which then allows you to unlock the knee charge. That's right away the first point that you want to put in. We only have a point in deflection because we want the damage mitigation as we do sprint attacks or slow blade attacks, and also for the Thrive on Danger, which is an absolute insane ability that allows you to restore health like crazy, stamina, reduce poison, everything as you drop below a certain HP threshold. Now the main reason we start with Bene is because the actual basic trainer for Bene you kind of find relatively late in the game, unless you're willing to, well, right away go to the Eastern Shield Wall, because we're going to have to go here to the Helios Gate base. That would be next to the Pinnacle Station. Could technically just drive there as soon as you went to the Swordmaster. That being said, highly prefer to just begin as a Bene. Main entrance, you simply run in, up the stairs, and you already see the lady with the crystal. She's going to teach you the basic of the Bene arts. And for the Bene we want to make our way to the wording stab. So Bindu sprint, blade damage, wording stab. This now has us teleport behind our enemies. Don't worry, you'll get the point-by-point breakdown in a second. But first, I want to show you the advanced trainers, and we can also talk about this amazing, unique weapon. For the Swordmaster, you're going to talk to the Ornithopter pilot in any trading station and travel to the Harko village. And here at the very end in the back village, right in this corner, you'll find the Swordmaster trainer. Mine is gone because I finished his quest already, since the quest has a very interesting ending. I won't spoiler that. Also, if you turn around from that Swordmaster trainer, you can see a lady hovering with her little light. That would be where the weapon merchant is, and this is the advanced Bene Gesserit trainer. And those are the only two you actually need, because the advanced trooper trainer does nothing for me. I talked about it. I'm not actually going to put points into Shigawire Claw. I don't literally care about the trooper trainer. That being said, you find the trooper trainer in Arakeen. Now the real interesting part about trainers is, if you finish all their quests, so you go for the advanced, you bring it to level 3, then they give you pinnacle quests to unlock pinnacle skills. At the very end, after you have every single quest done for them, they'll give you an amazing, unique item. In my case, for the Swordmaster, that would be the Yold Sword. That's why I tried to get it as soon as possible done. This sword does 110 damage. And my other weapon I had to this point, the Spark Sword, only does 76.5 damage. The Spark Sword, by the way, if you haven't gotten the quest done yet and you're too low level, you can get in Missa Terrell, left side of the Western Vermilion Gap, inside actual Missa Terrell. They're in the cave. They're in the cave. If you go to the big blueprint chest, you do 99.9% get your Spark Sword. I think I have like 3 or 4 bonus at this stage to still craft. If you finish the Mentat, for example, you get an amazing sniper rifle. I think the Trooper is going to give you an Assault. The Bene Gesserit gives you a Disruptor pistol that does insane damage. So it's truly worth it to actually pinnacle out these respective trainers to get those unique, amazing items because they're for free. Otherwise, you actually have to, well, go all the way to the Plastanium era into the deep desert to get something of equivalent strength. And don't worry about durability loss. I've been using this weapon now for 10 hours plus, and yeah, it's barely scratched. Now, what about the skills? Where am I putting my points? How do I do the most damage? I'll say that the first thing I always do is max out my Plantologist. Yes, because you want the reduced durability loss on vehicles. You want the less fuel, you want the bonus cut array mining, and the bonus deep analysis, even more mining. It just will increase the yields of everything. You truly don't want to struggle on resources to actually build your whole stuff. So as much as I just want to invest everything into my fighting, the first thing I always did after picking the skills was just make sure that my Plantologist makes me get more yield. The Plantologist, by the way, you find in the Hagabazan South on the top of the Imperial Testing Station. Man's called Derek. If you've reached the point where he only says goodbye to you and he won't advance the quest line, that's because he is an Imperial Testing Station number 76, middle of the map, inside of it in a cage. Just as a heads up. So the points you really want to have into the Swordmaster was the 1 point into knee charge. Further level ups reduce the cooldown. It is worth it. Then we go for 1 point optimized hydration with 1 point disciplined breathing and then 3 points into general conditioning. That increases your maximum stamina. Really helpful. Now we do have the knee charge. You do have the point into the Shigawire Claw. And Bene Gesserit, we're also going to put 1, 1, 1 to get ourselves the wording step. Because you want to have the 3 abilities. What is very important then for Bene Gesserit is getting the recovery into Sun Tolerance with 1 point into self-healing for now, then 1 point into Pranobindu stability, and then you get the Vitality. Because more maximum health will help you to not randomly get downed by a drill shot, or if someone actually breaks your shield, get you killed. It is really that helpful to have more Vitality and also more maximum stamina. Also, you could increase the Heal Kit Instant Restoration bonus. That seemed a little bit weird, because if you go over to the Bene Gesserit, you can increase the healing effectiveness in general from any kind of healing you're doing. Fantastic. I'd rather get more self-healing than I'd rather just increase one part of the heal kit restoration bonus. For more damage, we have blade damage, 1 point in, and then we actually put more points into long blade damage because this one scales higher. If I now level up further, I'll put things into blade damage as well. The same goes for the Bene Gesserit. She does actually have blade damage here as well. But the one you want to put the most points is long blades because we're going to use the Spark Sword, the Yold Sword, and later the other sword as well. I don't want to actually use short swords. And we get 1 point into deflection with Reckless Lunge. We get confidence. Every time you attempt a difficult attack like a sprint attack or a slow bait, you get increased confidence, which reflects as damage mitigation. Very useful. But really true thing is thrive on danger. That's also a technique you're pulling in. When you are on low health, you regenerate health faster, receive less poise damage, and reduce all stamina cost for actions. Really good. If a drill shot actually hits you, pumps you down, and then a second one, you're going to end up with 20% HP roughly, Thrive on Danger kicks in. Bene Gesserit increases any kind of healing that I get as well. I get health regeneration delayed down. Boom, it's going to pop up. I'm not going to die, and it activates every single time I'm actually going into this low health territory. Then I heal back up, low health. You get the drift. You shouldn't actually get down though, because you do have a shield. And with the Plantologist, your shield also has more maximum power. Very useful. Now I'm also investing in optimized hydration because hydration stamina bonus. If I'm fully hydrated, I get even more maximum stamina. Now for our other techniques, I like to take the reduced poise damage that I don't get staggered myself by anything because I really don't want to get staggered. Sure, you can dash out of the stagger, and because we're wearing light armor, we'll talk about that in a bit, we always have stamina to actually keep dashing out of a stagger, yet though we can prevent that from the beginning on. And then you get to choose between two things. Either you take Reckless Lunge, which gives you huge damage mitigation if you run and do a sprint attack. We don't do many of those, so Disciplined Breathing gives you a better stamina recovery. On the side of the Bene Gesserit, don't underestimate the sun tolerance as well, and also the poison tolerance. I put 1 point in, which is mostly good enough. But in the long run, I would want to have this maxed out. Sadly, there's nothing to reduce the cooldown of the Shigawire Claw. The cooldown is what it is, 8 seconds as you shoot it into your opponent. And further levels, again, only increase the range. It doesn't actually help in any way with reducing that. A little bit sad, because we can reduce the cooldown of the knee charge to really have that happening every 10 seconds with 3 out of 3 points in. And I'm right away learning that right now, because you always want to have an ability to destabilize your opponent. For our equipment, you want to have the highest tier shield that you can make. I get myself the Paranoid Wholesomen shield. That's from the main quest line from Missa Terrell, where you also got the Spark Sword. And you also want to get yourself the biggest power pack available. I'm currently running around with MK4. I want to have an MK5. This combination helps you to get shot, but not lose your shield like crazy. Later in the deep desert, if you go into a deep desert research station, it gets quite brutal, I gotta say. If one of these guys with a minigun shoots you, he's just gonna shred your shield, or the Disruptor SMG wielding guys, they're just destroying you. That being said though, because of our skills of us being able to teleport behind someone, knee charge them, and Shigawire clawing them, they never get to actually attack you if you're staying on top of the curve. For our armor, I'm wearing the Scout armor, the light armor, because the light armor has a dash stamina cost reduction that if I have to dash out of a drill shot, because if someone actually drill shots you, you can dash out of that. And if I need to just sprint up to the opponent, swing as much as possible, I don't want to have any stamina cost minus. Has some blade mitigation going on and decent armor values. I've yet not found any crazy unique item that actually helps with blade damage. I found quite some stuff, but nothing where you're like, yeah, we really need that. You could technically wear heavy armor because you don't really care that much about dashing. As I said again, we have all our abilities to really gap close to the enemy, to teleport around and do things. That the dashing is not so important, but I have fared way better with the light armor. The only other weapon I'd actually make myself right now is a sniper rifle, because you can use this weapon to shoot people before they get shields. A melee dude is not a problem because you just knee charge him. But someone with an SMG disruptor, if there's 2 or 3 standing next to each other, sure, you like Shigawire Claw one, then you want to hit them. With the sniper rifle from the distance, you could just take out 1, 2, and then the third one you just slice and dice. That's why I like to add that on top. But anything that has a shield, I'll just finish you off in no time. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you playing the game? What are you doing? What kind of weapons are you using? Please tell me in the comments below. Also, if you're now interested for the new best base spot towards the end game, we figured it out. Enjoy and have a fantastic good day.